got a bit more information on the Alexa Bliss and Charlotte situation, so we'll see what's new there. We'll also get into how the Wyatt 6 could have a role in what's happening here, starting things off with what's new for Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Alexa's first time back on television was during the May 9th edition of SmackDown, which featured that big cliffhanger moment of Alexa stopping Charlotte from leaving and inviting her to chat. So how did the May 16th edition of SmackDown build on that moment and advance that story? Well, we see Alexa Bliss approach Charlotte Flair backstage once again. Alexa asked Charlotte if she had some time to think about what they discussed. This is a pretty huge line from Alexa Bliss because it implies and confirms that the context of what Alexa and Charlotte talked about was a completely private conversation that took place fully off screen. So at least for the time being, we the audience are being left completely in the dark regarding the full details of what Alexa and Charlotte talked about. Both Charlotte and Alexa are aware of what the private conversation consisted of, but the viewers are being left to guess and make assumptions at this point. However, through some context clues in their conversation on screen here from May 16th, you can put some pieces of the puzzle together to figure out what that private conversation consisted of. Like when Alexa asked Charlotte what she thought about that chat they had the week prior, Charlotte responded by saying the word friends in a very questionable manner. And that's a big indication and clue right there that something Alexa mentioned in that private chat had to be about how Charlotte and herself were longtime friends. But Charlotte denies that claim and says that Alexa and herself were never that close. Alexa agreed that they were never that close, but that when Alexa first came to NXT, Charlotte was always kind to her and gave her the time of day. Alexa said she felt like Charlotte took her under her wing and was always a decent human being to her for whatever reason. And Alexa says she never forgot about everything Charlotte did for her. But Charlotte's response was as ice cold as possible. Charlotte told Alexa that she didn't remember a single thing that Alexa was talking about, but before their conversation could go any further, Julia walks out of Nick Aldis's office, and it's revealed that Julia was recently traded to SmackDown. As Charlotte is walking into Nick Aldis's office to discuss her Money in the Bank qualifier, she turns back to Alexa and tells Alexa that if she wants to help, then to just stay out the way because she doesn't need Alexa. And that's where that Alexa and Charlotte segment came to an end. So yes, their May 9th conversation with all of the details and information about what Alexa pitched to Charlotte was completely off-screen and unknown. But take all the exposition and read in between the lines here during their May 16 conversation, and that private conversation and private pitch from Alexa to Charlotte pretty much fully reveals itself. Alexa Bliss's off-screen chat with Charlotte Flair from May 9th consisted of Alexa taking a trip down memory lane with Charlotte and making callbacks to the times they shared together in NXT, all those good memories. How Alexa really felt like Charlotte Flair was a mentor to her, and Alexa even went as far as to call Charlotte Flair a friend. Alexa told Charlotte Flair specifically that she wants to help her and volunteered some type of assistance and partnership. Charlotte did not give Alexa a definite response to that pitch on May 9th, but Charlotte did give Alexa that answer to her pitch here during the closing moments of their May 16th segment. Charlotte turned down the partnership idea and said that she didn't need Alexa's help at all and that the only helpful thing Alexa can do for her is to stay out of the way. Alexa didn't seem so defeated by Charlotte turning down her partnership offer, though. Alexa still had a smirk on her face, and that smirk looks like Alexa is not done with Charlotte Flair at all. There's surely more to this story right here. No way it just ends with Charlotte Flair simply turning Alexa down and they peacefully go their separate ways. It seems like we'll be seeing some more segments and conversation between Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss in the future. Alexa Bliss already is qualified for the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and now Charlotte Flair will get her chance to qualify for that same ladder match in a triple threat match against Zelina Vega and Julia. And this triple threat match surely seems like the perfect spot to continue to advance this Alexa and Charlotte narrative in whatever direction they like. They can have Alexa Bliss go out there during that triple threat match and maybe assist Charlotte Flair in winning and qualifying for the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Even though Charlotte did not ask for Alexa's help in the match and brutally turned down her partnership pitch, Alexa helping Charlotte win that qualifying match could be that real eye-opening moment for Charlotte to realize that maybe she could benefit from linking up with Alexa Bliss after all. And maybe that's the moment that pushes Alexa and Charlotte back in the direction of teaming up, especially considering the fact in this scenario, both Charlotte and Alexa will be in the ladder match. So you just know that means they'll cross paths again during that match. And despite Charlotte being so dismissive about needing Alexa's help, maybe in a spur of the moment sort of situation, maybe Alexa and Charlotte do save each other and work together during that ladder match. That's very much a possibility that could continue this path for them to partner up. Or on the flip side, what if Alexa Bliss cost Charlotte Flair the qualifier, and instead of helping Charlotte win, Alexa forces Charlotte to lose that match? That'll be a nice little way of Alexa Bliss getting back at Charlotte for turning down her offer and treating her so coldly. Charlotte didn't want her help, so Alexa goes out there and does everything she can to make sure Charlotte loses the match. That's very much a possibility as well. It definitely is a pretty strange story, though, at this point, where a lot of the details are still pretty vague, and the pairing in general is pretty weird as well. Alexa Bliss is a beloved superstar with the crowds, and Charlotte Flair is one of the more hated superstars with the crowd. So pairing them up together sounds like it could be pretty chaotic, since they're on completely opposite sides of the babyface and heel radar. But then you have some fans wondering if this is all set up for the returns of Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six. Alexa's been back on television for several weeks now, but still no new messages, signs, or teasers anywhere regarding the status of the Wyatt Six. So fans are starting to wonder if this entire awkward partnership pitch to Charlotte Flair could be setting up the returns of the Wyatt members. Maybe it's not necessarily a trap being set by Alexa Bliss, but maybe if Charlotte Flair tries to inflict harm on Alexa in any way, maybe the Wyatt Six are secretly watching everything from the shadows, and if they need to step up to save Alexa from Charlotte, then they certainly will. And more specifically, that person to save Alexa Bliss from Charlotte Flair could very well end up being Nikki Cross. So that'll be a nice little near full circle ending for this little storyline. Alexa is pushing for Charlotte Flair to partner up with her, but Alexa's partner will end up being Nikki Cross and the Wyatt Six, which would be a super massive reunion for Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, as well as Alexa Bliss and Uncle Howdy. So, as usual, there's a lot of possibilities and interesting theories floating around Alexa Bliss right now. Is her current storyline setting up a future path for her, where Charlotte Flair could end up being a rival or a partner? And how exactly will the Wyatt Six factor into this entire scenario as well? Just so much to look forward to there.
But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.